Hi there, guys. I'm gonna make a quick video trying to show you how the post-processing um, workflow of astrophotography looks like. This is obviously very simplified, and I could spend weeks explaining all these details, but at the high level, this is the process that takes place once you have spent a night imaging something with your powerful telescope. So in this case, we're gonna edit very quickly together a very epic target like is the M31 or Andromeda galaxy. This is the closest Andromeda to our, the closest galaxy to ours. It's way larger than the Milky Way, and it's actually visible with the naked eye under clear skies. I don't live in clear skies here, so with the naked eye, I don't think it's possible to see this. And with the telescope, you could barely see it. But if you expose it for hours, then the telescope and the camera are capable to gather all sorts of details. So I'm going to show you what we can do once the image is here in the computer and how do we extract the information. We call it stretch it. So right now the image, as you can see, is not impressive at all. You can see a very bright core of something. This is probably you would imagine this is the center of that galaxy, and a bunch of stars. These stars are in our own galaxy. They do not belong to Andromeda. They're just on the way between my telescope and the Andromeda galaxy. So the process to actually get and find a beautiful image goes as follows. And I'm going to go quickly through this because this is just a quick example. So this is on linear state. You can see here linear. If you want to see quickly how this looks more or less, then we go to auto stretch. Auto stretch just is a quick AI representation of how the picture looks like. But we are going to get it way better than this. So now we do auto stretch and boom, right? You can see now clearly we have a galaxy with a center and all the nebulosity. And we have two bright objects on the side, which are actually additional or satellite galaxies. These are galaxies that are near Andromeda. They are dwarf galaxies, and they are captured by the overall gravitational force of Andromeda. But as you can see here, there is all sorts of problems. First, there is not a lot of detail here right now. Then there is this green halo on this side of the image. Here is way darker. So can we do something better? Absolutely. This is a quickly auto stretch. The final result is a lot better once you apply certain processes. So the first thing you do is you remove the green noise. Green noise is something that occurs after stacking multiple images. Once I do this, you're going to see the image will lose that green halo a little bit. See that? Now it looks more natural colors. If I show you the before and the after, the color is more natural. Now, the next thing we want to do is to make sure the colors of the galaxy are correct and they don't have any kind of artifacts because the Earth atmosphere. So we go to photometric color calibration. We go M31. This is the target we have. And now we're going to click OK. Now the program will detect all the stars that we have and realize that this is indeed the Andromeda galaxy. And it's going to apply a color correction to the image. Once it does that, we can be sure that the image that we have here is actually color corrected properly and is already finished. Okay, so we have done that. So we go back. You will not see much of a difference, but it's there, believe me. Now we're going to flip this to look it a little more attractive to me. This way it looks better. So now we want to get rid of this green halo. So this, what it is this is light pollution. This is human light in the streets or in cities nearby that the telescope captures. Also, this is the moon in this case. I took photographs of this galaxy when the moon was a little up, and that's an ideal. There is some glare by the moon on the north side in this case. So I want to try to remove that. So what you do here is you go to background extraction. This is a process that will plot the image. You're going to see now a bunch of dots being generated. We're going to add that some more in the area that it didn't detect. And what this will do, it will try to remove all the unnatural light from the image and leave the target. So you have to take those dots away from the target. In this case, is the galaxy, right, in the middle. So anything that has galaxy nebulosity, we're gonna remove these dots. There we go. Okay, so I would say the corners as well, because it's pretty wide. And now the rest of the dots are just deep sky, deep universe. So now the program is gonna realize like, okay, this on the left side is what dark sky looks like, and this is a problem. So it's gonna try to even the image so we don't have that kind of halo that obvious. Okay, so we're gonna go and compute background. See, boom. Right now we have an image that is more equalized in terms of the halo, but as you can see, it's very bright. It's too bright and it lacks color. That's completely normal. This is part of the auto stretch, okay? So now is a good time to crop in a little bit to remove some other artifacts that we have. Usually I do this before background extraction, but I'm gonna do this now. Why not? We're gonna actually remove the stars. By removing the stars for now, what happens is that we can work on the nebulosity or the target, not so much bothered by the stars, and also any transformations that we make will not impact the stars. So the stars, we're going to work on them later to make sure that they are not too bright or they are not too weird shape and whatnot, but for now we're going to work on the nebulosity. So to do that, we run the star removal suite here, and in some seconds you're gonna see the result. Boom, see that? So that's the galaxy that we want to stretch properly. So now let's go back to linear and let's do the same process I indicated. We're gonna go here, we click in the data and we're gonna stretch it slowly. Look how much better it looks already. There we go. That's a little bit of the image. Now we're gonna tell what do I want to emphasize. So these clouds are too dark. Let me make a square on the clouds, and now I start stretching. Look at the difference. Look at that. But you gotta be careful, because if you overdo it, then things are gonna be obviously out of control, right? So you wanna keep the image as it really is and not add any noise. So this is the art of post-processing. Or you start brightening an object without losing data or between burning anything. Okay, so far I like this already. Now we're gonna add a little more data on these clouds inside. So we're gonna stretch it slowly now. So now it's gonna get pretty bright. We're gonna protect the center so it's not gonna get burned. So we're gonna, there we go. All right, very good. Now we want to add more contrast to this image, right? It's too much brightness. So we do this, and now when I stretch now, look at that. It's gonna start adding more contrast, correct? Now it starts looking more like the galaxy that you imagine. We can overdo this, obviously, which would be a little too much, right? This makes no sense. Or something more like this. I think this starts looking a little better, right? There you go. Very good. And now, as you can see, the colors are not here quite yet. So that's normal, it's part of the image. So let's extract it, saturation stretch. Now we start pushing the colors. You're gonna start seeing the yellow halo that you would expect from Andromeda Galaxy. There we go. See that? Starting to look pretty cool. Probably it's a little too much, but you know, you get the idea. This is just a little demo of how all this works. All right, there we go. Now we have the color. I'm gonna darker the image a little bit. So can you see we have black points? See, the universe behind is gonna dark as it should be. So it's not too much of a halo from the post-processing. And now I think we're pretty much ready. As a first pass, we're gonna go here and we're gonna just stretch it a little more, in my opinion, from here. There we go. Okay, I like that. All right, very good. So now we're, okay, we just made some color corrections. So this looks pretty nice. We like how this looks like. It's real, there is no noise almost, the image is very clean. This is a very good camera, very good telescope. So now that we like that, we're gonna just save it real quick. And now we're gonna do the stars real quickly. So the stars is a simpler process. We grab the stars right now here. And now we're gonna stretch those guys. So similar situation, I go all the way to the right and then I start adding more data. Obviously, if you do it too much, you're gonna see so many stars. Look at this. This is real stars that we have between us and this galaxy, but that just bothers the eye, right? So let's do something smaller, a little not so overexposed. So we like around this, why not? And then we are gonna let the color come back because the stars have different colors, isn't it? So see, this is a very famous brown red dwarf that is in the area. And I wanna make sure that we can see the color for that. Okay, we like that, we apply, and that's it. We save it again. And now you must say, okay, what do you do now that you have both? Well, there are many processes to do this, but we're gonna go to another software called GIMP. And I'm just gonna go here. We're gonna open what we just edited. Let me see, 12 starlets, there you go. We're gonna bring right the galaxy, and now we're gonna overlay the stars, which I managed to edit differently than the nebulosity, not to burn them. There we go. So now we're gonna overlay them. So you cannot see that part, but you're gonna, there is the overlay right there. Good. And now here we can do all sorts of things. You know, we can increase the saturation a little bit, see that, to make it a little more dramatic. Usually you need to add a little bit of contrast as well to make things a little more clean. See that? There we go. A little more contrast, and that's it. Okay. So you have here the image of the Andromeda galaxy, and now you see a little bit better how the process works. I simplified many steps, as you can imagine, but overall, this is the process. And as you can see, this looks a lot better than the original automatic one, right? If I bring you back to the automatic, this is what the computer thought it was a good image, but you guys have been working with me to generate this. Obviously, this is a much better image, much more liable, much more accurate image than this, right? There is all sorts of things, but now you see the process, and this is what we do for any deep space object. And this was like 10 minutes. Usually we spend hours with details, making sure the lights are accurate. This is a very quick edit, just so you get an idea of how all this works. Okay, I hope you like that, guys. If you ever want to do this with me, let me know. It will be my pleasure. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.